Bye.
Hey everybody! Welcome to ESO Live. We're glad to have you. I'm Jessica Folsom.
Hi, I'm Gina.
And
we're really excited.
A little pepper on it.
I have a headache.
What are we here to show everyone tonight?
Murkmire.
Yes. Or Murkmire.
First look. It's
Yep.
going to be the first time we show this live to everybody.
Are y'all excited?
We are. We'll see in about 30 seconds if they're excited. So yeah, we've shown video so far at PAX a couple weeks ago, but not actual live footage. So this is going to be a treat for everybody.
Yep. So here's what we have in store. We'll do some real quick news and introductions. We do have some guests here with us today.
We do. As the slate shows, it's going to be zone lead Ed Stark and senior writer-designer Lehman Tuttle. So zone lead basically means this is the guy sort of in charge of, well, I don't want to steal your thunder, but he's the main dude for Murkmire, and then Lehman's like the main writing dude for Murkmire. So that's pretty much how it goes. The dudes. They're here.
Dudes.
We're the ones holding the swampy bag.
Swampy bag.
First sound clip of the night. All right, and then we'll also have Twitch drops. If you are on PC, Mac, and play ESO, make sure to link your 2 accounts. You'll get Twitch drops for watching the show. And maybe we'll have a giveaway at some point.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe.
We're gonna figure that out. So there we go. So, if I sit up straight, God forbid, then
the top of your head.
Too tall. It's cool. I actually like
We
slouching
can't
a lot,
adjust
so
it.
I'm going to do this. So as just mentioned, we do have Twitch drops active right now. So I got to get really comfortable here. As long as you link your PC Mac account with your game account, then you're going to get a drop. Everyone will get at least 1 drop as long as you watch us at least 10 minutes, but we hope you stay for a little bit longer. And then later on in the show, if you're still with us, you can maybe get another one. And those will be going out at the end of the show, whenever that is. Probably in about 45 minutes.
So let's say hi to our guests.
Well, don't you want to talk about all this other stuff?
We can talk about news first if you want.
I think we should.
Okay.
We should. Crown Crate giveaway weekend.
Yep.
That's happening.
So it's the HoloJack Crown Crate giveaway weekend. If you log in each day of the event, kill at least 1 monster. Not a PvP player. Not a player in PvP.
Players aren't monsters?
Nope. Well.
Not in this case.
And you will get your crates by up to 3 by the 19th, the day before the HoloJack Crown Crate season starts. So that does start on September 20th. We do have an article up that shows some of the items you can get, all these spooky goodness.
All the spoopy items. They're the cool ones where, like, you basically take your head off and then you ride around with a little pumpkin.
Be the
For a
headless
head.
horseman.
It's cool.
It is.
Or the headless Gorman or whatever mount you get. It's cool.
Yep.
What else do we have going on? Oh, the Imperial City Celebration event is ongoing. That wraps up on Monday, and then all the campaigns that we opened for that are actually going to be closed on Tuesday. So I'm going to ease you out of those new campaigns.
And summer fall event. You've seen the first tease. What could it be? We do have some more teases coming up, and then we will announce the event next week. So stay tuned. We're very excited to tell you more about it.
Much excite. You want to talk about patches? So we originally said that Murkmire is coming to PTS the week of September 17th. It's actually going to be pushed like a month or so. So, no, just kidding. No, it's coming on Monday. Monday, probably late morning, early afternoon, we'll post the patch notes for PTS, and then it'll become available to everybody on PC. We are doing a North American character copy for that. So if you have anything kind of that you're working on PTS right now, save everything now because it's all getting wiped on Monday. We're going to do a fresh copy for PC NA characters. There is a console incremental happening next Tuesday, so there's a few fixes going into that. We mentioned on the forums today that we are actually reverting the HDR change that we made in Update 19.
Yep.
That is going into a console incremental happening early October. So not the one next week, but a couple weeks after that.
Yep, it does require a new patch.
Yes, indeed. All right, everyone's here to see some Murkmire. Let's hop right in.
Murkmire.
Some Murk.
What about it?
Where's your mic?
It's hidden
Oh.
There it is. Nothing to see here. Who clipped it on if it wasn't you? Oh. Always blaming the other guy.
All right. So hi guys.
Hey, what's
Welcome.
up?
Here they are,
Whoa.
the mysterious
Have you both
men.
been on the show before? I think you
No,
have.
I-
Yeah.
I don't think Ed has.
Ed, first timer.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, be real nice.
Lehman's been on the show before, remember?
Thousands of times.
It was once,
It was
I think.
Did it feel
or
like
twice.
thousands of
three
times?
times.
It felt like so many times.
You just had him on and just let him off.
Yeah, like, all right, there goes
That's why I
Lehman.
was late on all his deadlines.
So could you guys
Ouch.
maybe tell us what you do on the team a little bit?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Your background, if you want to.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm the principal writer for Murkmire, so I'm responsible for just making sure that all the narratives are syncing up and kind of the primary vibe of the zone is cool. Got a lot of latitude with developing Argonian culture and stuff like that, which is really awesome.
And you're into Argonians, right?
I am.
Like you're an
more
Argonian
into
fan.
Argonians than I should be.
Yeah.
They're my favorite race by a
Give
wide
him the
margin.
mask.
So-
Give him the mask.
I don't want to put that thing on.
Not the mask. And what about you, Ed? This is your first time here, so do you want to tell everyone
Sure, yeah.
kind of where you came from, what you do here?
So I've been a designer on the team since, since before we launched. And oddly enough, the first zone I ever worked on was Shadowfen. And
Oh, cool.
I did a whole bunch of objectives in Shadowfen and everything like that. And then a little over a year ago, they asked me if I wanted to be a zone lead, and I said,
You're like, heck yeah.
Yeah, why not? So yeah, I came over, and as a zone lead, my job is to do things like basically wrangle everything for the content team. In a way, I work with the content designers, and I work with the fiction writers, and the artists, and everybody else to sort of put everything together as a whole. I had to pitch the original zone story document, which Lehman helped work on for Murkmire, and we had to basically sell them the story, the ideas, and then it's my job to sort of get out of the way and let everybody do their creative stuff. So all the content designers, all the world builders, everybody can get their stuff done, and I can get them what they need. Just sort of make sure to keep everything focused.
Sweet.
And I did okay.
You did great.
I say that.
I mean, you're here now,
I
so
say that
doing pretty
because
good.
One of the things we did for Murkmire is, like, every DLC, we're like, hey, we want to give you, so many hours of gameplay and so many quests and everything. And we kind of went a little overboard.
I don't think the players will complain.
I was going to say, I don't think anybody minds.
We got a
It's
whole
fine.
extra set of dailies. We got a couple extra IC. Well, the thing
Fun.
was, we hadn't done a lot with Argonians really since
Yeah.
Shadowfen.
Yes.
And so we touched on it a little bit in Vardenfell, but this is the first time you get to see them in their home turf.
Very cool.
Every other place they're always like slaves or refugees or warriors or something like that.
Or even
Here,
just visiting, yeah.
Even just visiting. Here, it's like they get to do their own thing, and so everybody was so excited. We just kept adding stuff, and eventually we said, "Oh, maybe we should stop now because we've pretty much covered everywhere." But there's a lot of good stuff in Murkmire, and it's really the entire team that did it, and I just kind of help keep them on track.
Can I say two things real quick, completely unrelated to what you're talking about?
Sure.
So, first of all, you have to know I'm really good at interrupting. Like, that's what I do literally every show.
That's
So,
fine.
two things, totally logistical. First, you guys see, like, down there, it says March of Sacrifices. We're totally not talking about March of Sacrifices today.
I wasn't planning on it.
I looked over, I was like, oh, okay,
Sorry for the
surprise.
confusion.
The other
Everybody logs
thing,
out now.
it sounds like these guys' mics are really quiet compared to us, and maybe we just talk too loud, but I don't know if we can
Can you guys hear
pump
us?
them
I
up.
can start shouting.
Really?
No, I'm not really good at that.
Remember those sneakers where, like, you have to pump up?
Yeah.
That's what, I think that's what needs to happen with your mics.
Clip this to my nose.
Just put it in your beard, it'll be fine.
That's where my cat goes.
I think you're doing that wrong. Okay, so let's get into Murkmire. I know that's what everybody is dying to see. They're all freaking out over this horse, which is really cool. That's the one that comes with the collector's bundle, right?
Yep.
So if you buy the
Murkmire Collector's Bundle.
collector's
in the Crown
bundle.
store.
Yes, I brain fart, even though I literally just said it.
Not the March of Sacrifices.
Not the March of Sacrifices bundle, correct. So yeah, you'll get that, and then you'll also get a little pet with it. Now the pet that is following Melissa, right? Yeah. Thank you. Melissa is
our driver.
Melissa's our driver today. She has this little. It's not even It's not even a netch. It's a swamp jelly.
Swamp jelly, yeah.
Swamp jelly.
And you get that from what? Completing the little quest.
You get one swamp jelly that you can only get from completing the Murkmire teaser, which I did. Sorry about that, folks. No, you complete
Spoiler.
the Murkmire teaser and a bunch of dailies, and you can get a blue swamp jelly, I think it is, or well, to be honest, I'm not actually sure which color they decided on.
It looks bluish.
But
Yeah.
then there's 3 other swamp jellies that you can get through the Crown store.
Sweet.
Very cool.
But yeah, you can get swamp jelly pet. I happen to know from personal experience there's at least one quest in here that involves swamp jellies. And
This
they are
looks like it would look really cool at night too.
Oh yeah, yeah. And there are also critters that are roaming around in Murkmire. So
Oh, there are critters. As you said, everything tries to kill you, right?
true.
Just like in
Yes.
Australia.
also, isn't she wearing some special armor too?
She is, but gosh, I wouldn't know what it is. Which armor are you wearing, Melissa?
It's the dead water motif.
Dead water motif.
You're
Okay.
gonna
she
get to
says.
see about them a little bit later.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Neat. All right, so where are we
Where
in
are we
game right
starting
now?
our adventure?
So right now we're in Lilmoth, the festering jewel.
Lil Moth?
Lilmoth.
Is that where like Lil Wayne hangs out?
tell them where the name came from.
So
Please do.
Lilmoth, it's related to the Lilmothite, which were fox people that lived in Black Marsh for a long time.
But that was before this expansion. There are no fox people in the expansion.
No.
Sorry about that, folks. But
Are they
Lilmoth,
gone at this point?
It's
Allegedly?
a mystery.
It's a
It's a mystery.
I'm
Okay,
not
so
saying
they're
they'll never appear. They're just not.
so they're off hanging out with the Dwemer. Got it.
Yeah, there are some of their little artifacts rolling around. So Lilmoth is an interesting city. It's on the coast. Could you call up the map briefly? Just show
Oh yeah, let's show them the map.
and zoom out, just so you get an idea of what Murkmire. That's Murkmire. You can see to
There
the
it
north
is.
is the rest of Black Marsh. So we've got a section of it. You come in at the coast. One of the important notices of this is that Murkmire is one part of Black Marsh that is very much wilderness. Shadowfen is someplace that's been on the battlefront. You know, people have invaded there and everything. Lilmoth is not an easy place to get into. Black Marsh is not an easy place to get into. The Imperials have tried, other people have tried to take it over, and you know they've left some remnants behind, but they haven't really managed to conquer anything. So if you go back to the player view, you can close the map, and let's take a run up here. What?
Nothing. I think Lehman and I saw the same chat comment.
Oh, chat.
Oh boy.
They're
So, up here, what we're going to see is
how old are you?
the remnants of some of the people who come into Murkmire and who have tried to take over or build. And you can see they've been about as successful as these buildings. You know, all these imperial structures, they sunk into the swamp. So they built some on top of them, and they sunk into the swamp again.
Now,
And they
didn't we
caught fire,
say?
and they sunk into the swamp.
See, I interrupted again. Didn't we say
Okay,
during
I was
a
just doing my Monty
PAX?
Python riff.
Oh, sorry. That this zone is kind of equivalent to Clockwork City in terms of size.
Well, yes.
Ish?
Yes,
It is.
ish.
It's supposed to be. Sorry, we made it a little bit bigger.
There's
So it's bigger, 'cause
there's
I
a
think
lot
when
more
people-
content, for sure.
Yeah, when people were looking at the map, they're like, "Oh, it seems small," but
It's one of
Context.
the things we did. By the way, now we're getting to see some Argonian structures. Notice they
Yeah,
built
cool.
stilt houses. These are new for this expansion. They're not the mud huts that you see in northern Shadowfen. They're more stilt cities. They're also built to be temporary. You know, after a season or two, these things might fall down or get knocked over, or the Argonians might scavenge them and move them somewhere else. So, Lilmoth, like the ever-changing coast of Black Marsh, you know, could change in a couple of years. But you were asking a question and I completely ignored it.
oh, the size of the zone,
Oh,
kind of compared
yeah.
to other
So
zones.
one thing that you'll see in the zone is we made a strong effort to make sure that it was very marsh-like. You know, one of the characteristics of a marsh is that a lot of the area, while dangerous, can be traversable. So a lot of the water we see in Murkmire is traversable. We've got a few rivers, we've got a couple of lakes, but a lot of it is just you're slogging through ankle deep or knee deep water or something. So technically we probably have a little bit more ground cover than you had in Clockwork City.
Cool.
Now Clockwork has a whole bunch of other cool stuff that we don't, but hey, they'd rust over here.
I saw people asking about a new house, new furnishings. All of that is coming. You will see it on PTS next week.
And I'm sure we'll show them off on a future ESO Live.
Yes.
We have so much to show you with just the zone itself that
Yes.
we're going to hold those off for a future show.
Agreed.
What do we got up here, Lehman?
So this looks like they're heading into one of the cool gathering areas in Lilmoth, and the instrument over there is
Whoa.
one of the new instruments.
Do they have
called
sound?
Vasasatl. It does have.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear it? It's pretty wild.
You'll have to wait like 30 seconds.
Yeah. They'll confirm soon.
If not, it's bonkers. It's so basically it's a traditional Argonian instrument that they fill with live frogs, and then they pump musk into the little cells that they're in, and they start chirping. They're very happy, and it creates music of a sort.
Our audio guys, Bill Mueller and Brad Derrick, and everybody did a really terrific job of coming up with a very unique item, and our fixture team just made something very cool. And these guys, there's a quest that involves this, and these guys pop up and
Look at the little frogs.
I know.
and they also pop up elsewhere in the game after Murkmire launches.
Yep.
Oh, fun.
So you can-
So is this a brand new instrument that the team here created, or
Yeah.
is this
Yes, it
something
is.
from lore?
Well,
Eric-
it's something.
It is
yeah.
lore now.
It is,
if it, yeah.
Eric Bakudis, one of our designers, came up with this basic idea, and Lehman helped him out with it.
That is so
And,
fun.
Yeah, like I said, the audio team, the fixture team, they worked very hard on getting this in there.
Oh gosh, people want this for their house.
Well, and we're gonna have
They should.
Yes.
It's awesome.
we're gonna have some specific people who play these. We have specific bard songs for them, and we
What?
have bard
Wow.
songs for the Argonians to sing too. So
Cool.
I don't know if I want to hear singing Argonians.
You do. It's
they're
amazing.
they're actually really cool.
Can you demonstrate it for us?
Put on the mask.
You put on the mask. My tube and throat singing thing. No, that's good. You guys don't need to hear that.
Okay, well, hey, let's get out of Lilboth.
Yeah.
This is the city, and Murkmire is more about adventuring. It's a dangerous place, and we want to show you some of the environment.
Hey, Lehman, didn't you have a special message you wanted to say?
Oh, are we doing that now?
We can.
can. Okay,
Whenever you
cool.
So we
want.
don't forget.
Yeah.
So today is my son Amos's 5th birthday. So I just want to do a shout out. Amos, happy birthday, pal.
Happy
Love you.
birthday,
Aw, happy
Amos.
birthday, Amos. Hope he's watching.
Oh, hey, up here, not to stamp on Amos.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm trying to
say happy birthday to my son.
I know.
Monster.
One of the cool things is, so remember I showed you Melissa ran up and showed you the Imperial ruins that sunk into the city. Here's some of what you might recognize as some Argonian ruins. This is the Argonians who were, years and years ago, millennia ago, built these great Zanmirs, things like this. Well, Lilmoth has a little bit of that too. So, Lilmoth really has 3 sets of architecture throughout the city, and I think it's really cool that they're all sort of blended.
Yeah, Lilmoth is a huge cultural mishmash, which is cool. It was a pirate port for a while. The Imperials hung out there, Argonians, Lilmothi, and so it's a neat starting point for sure.
Let's head out into the swamp.
Into the swamp.
So the southernmost region of Murkmire is, kind of, as you can see, kind of bright. It's a little foggy. This is probably about as bright as you're going to see it, by the way. This is put on a really nice time of day.
It's like Maryland right now. Just kind of
It's always gonna
foggy,
be
not very
humid.
bright.
We've actually got our posture team, like Sean Miller and Yorma Auburn and Vincent. They all put together some really cool packages for people showing off that they're hot and sweaty and there are bugs and things like that. So we have people swatting mosquitoes and brushing their foreheads, and the Argonians are kind of like, yeah, soft skin, whatever. But everybody else is kind of like, hey, it's hot out here.
That must have been fun research.
Yeah. Oh, let's just found a plant. Which
So
one's this?
what is
Scuttlebloom.
this?
Scuttle bloom.
A scuttle bloom.
So
New.
everything in Black Marsh wants you dead.
Including the
including
plants.
the flora.
Including the
Yeah,
plants.
so this is one of the killer plants that we have in.
Well,
Murkmire.
this one's actually kind of harmless, but it's definitely an ambient thing. If you approach it, you can do what Melissa did, and you can loot it. You know, much like some of our critters. But if you don't sneak up on it, it'll turtle up, and,
Right.
and you won't be able to get anything from it.
Oh.
Yeah,
But
we're
yeah,
gonna
so you
gotta
find
keep an
the,
eye out.
The angry plants.
There are other plants that we'll see a little bit later that, turn right here. Go down,
Yeah.
go to the Zanmere. This is the sunken Zanmere outside of Lomouth. I always call it the sunken Zanmere. Lehman, however, knows the historical name and
I do.
reference.
Does he?
Please tell us.
This is I practiced before the show. This is Ijtaj the Tithel Met.
What?
which-
Bless you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's a Zamir that's specifically brought up in lore, specifically Greg Keyes' Infernal City novel. So
We
you get to
need
go there.
you and
hang out.
Lawrence to do like a lore off, like just pronunciation
Lawrence
challenge.
Lawrence would destroy me in a lore off. So I have no chance.
So we're not going to go in here right now, but I'll tell you, because it's not a big spoiler, but one of your very first quests, designed by Eric Makutis and written by Lehman, takes you into this sunken Zanmere where you get to delve into the past of Murkmire before you start dealing with its
Cool.
present and its future.
What is that flying overhead?
That is a hackwing, one
A
of the
hackwing.
native predators to Murkmire and Black Marsh generally,
Yeah.
and that's another thing that wants you dead.
Yeah, and you'll get to see them
course.
later, and they probably will kill us.
I see a sky shark.
Yeah, Sean Wicks and his encounter team put together some really interesting flora and fauna for Murkmire. Oh, there was one of Brandon Van Heren's lizards that just ran across. Brandon does some really amazing things with the lizards. He uses them to preview things. So like the plants, the deadly plants, every once in a while you'll walk up and you'll see a lizard run off, and you know something bad will happen to it based on a plant. And I'm not going to spoil it yet in case we see one. But yeah, our encounter team did a wonderful job of setting up a really interesting biome here. So yeah, we're running mostly along the southern coast of Black Marsh right now. You see it's very open. There aren't a lot of trees. There's a lot of wet, a lot of swamp. There are occasional little buildings, some ruins, things like that. But now we're seeing a few structures off in the distance. Oh, just passed a swamp jelly. You didn't get it.
So I see a lot of people in chat asking about the sprint bug, which is not really relevant to our discussion about Murkmire, but we do see you.
We have
this
horror,
is
but we don't have spring bugs.
we'll be here all night. We are aware of it. The team is still working on getting it fixed. It's one of those issues that it's kind of hard to pinpoint what is causing the problem. And a lot of times when you need to fix a problem, you need to figure out what's causing that problem to begin with. So they are aware. They are working on it. I literally just asked about it today. So it's in motion, but we just haven't gotten it fixed yet. So we see you. We see y'all.
Lehman, where are we now?
So yeah, we are in Alton Mirleal, which later will be Alton Mere Hall, which is a settlement that shows up in other Elder Scrolls games like Arena. At this point in history, it is not a city, but just kind of a small trading port. If you cruise over forward, the Argonians, one of their neat kind of cultural quirks is that they love games, sports. They love because they love impermanence. They love change. They're all about sports because the ups and downs, wins and losses. So this is a Tiba Inu field, which is one of their sports. Yeah, a lot of gel terms floating around it there. So gel is their native language. For those of you who don't know.
I didn't know.
We have a couple of fun instances where Lehman and Eric have written up some very cute bits of Argonians trying to explain the rules to outsiders and writing up books, and pretty much nobody understands. But if you pan around really slowly, you'll get a sense of this field, and you can kind of imagine what a game might look like. It's very fast, very frenetic, and very weird.
Weird is
Just
the
like
touchstone here,
Argonians,
yeah.
yeah.
All these totems and things like that, and goals and everything.
And we
But,
touched on this at PAX too. There's water everywhere, but it's all shallow water, so you can use your
It's all
mount going through
traversable.
here, not get dismounted.
we were very careful about that.
Yeah.
The encounter designers initially thought, oh, this is awesome. And then they said, wait a minute, we have to base pop all of this. It's like, yes, you do. So creatures all over the
Yeah.
place. But yeah. Okay, let me see. Where are we headed next?
We're heading toward Brightthroat Village, yeah?
I think so. Yeah. Why don't we take a way shrine, or do we want to take a look at one of the world bosses?
Might as well. Yeah, take a peek.
Sure.
Okay, we'll take a look at a world boss. Spoiler alert: if you don't want to see a world boss, turn off the next.
We're not going to
minute.
show the mechanics, though.
No.
We don't want to make Melissa try and fight a world boss by herself.
Oh, come on.
Nope.
She's like, please no.
Okay, now you'll notice as we're moving away from the coast, there's more tree cover. It starts getting a little darker, even though it's sort of midday and everything. You can still see the sun through the clouds, but you know, Murkmire got its name for a reason. There's another hackwing flying around. I love the fact that we've got the ability to do some of these flying stuff now. Really.
Yeah, it's neat.
So how many world bosses are there in Murkmire?
Dose.
Yeah, two. Just
That's
just
two
just
for-
like other,
for us.
other DLC. We did not overdo it on the world bosses. We were tempted, but oh, there's a scuttle bloom, but you can't because it noticed you. It turtled up.
Oh.
And what about delves?
We
Are
have,
there
2 delves.
we have two delves.
dose?
2 delves.
Lehman?
Yeah, exactly. 2 delves, 2 world bosses.
Something we tried to do also with the world bosses and with the delves is we tried to explore sort of the nature of like the past and the present in Murkmire. The idea that we have things where it's like these are linked to the natural, you know, the hist and you know everything that is about Murkmire, and then we have other ones that are this is about invaders of Murkmire and things. You know, so I don't want to give too much away, but you know we really tried to reflect more than just one single story point because there's again it's our first time to be able to do Argonians at home. We didn't want to waste it.
Right.
So,
And
yeah.
there's also tremendous diversity in Argonian culture anyway. Every tribe has its own kind of quirks, their own values, and that's illustrated through all the quests, really.
So this is an interesting one because this plays on the idea of Argonian rebirth. You know, when an Argonian dies, they go back to the Hist and they're reincarnated. And they all believe this, and you know it's pretty demonstrable that the histories take care of their people. This is an Argonian necromancer, which is probably one of the most abhorrent things you could run into. Because this is trying to break that whole cycle. And if you see the necromancer's up there doing some stuff with skeletons, we're not going to show you exactly what she's doing. But just to Melissa's left here, we've got a grave stake.
Yeah, you'll see these scattered all over the zone. They're also called zulvats or grave stakes. One of the cool cultural things about Argonians is that because they love impermanence, they love change, they're not really attached to anything. When they die out in the swamp, they don't bring them back for burial. They tend to stake them down where they are using a grave stake.
There's kind of a reason for that.
Right, because often in the swamp, for reasons that no one really understands, the dead don't stay dead. They tend to get back up and become bog blights, which are one of the new monsters that you're going to fight in the zone.
We'll see them in a minute.
Right. So grave stakes, they pin the Argonians down in the mud where they belong, so they can move off to the Hist and kind of go back to into the soil.
Yeah, one of the things I really like about the grave stakes is that you notice that they were all carved. They're all individual. Those grave stakes, if you could read them, they're the story of the Argonian's life.
Oh, cool.
And there's some Argonians, in fact, we're going to run into some, who actually carry grave stakes, smaller grave stakes, around on their backs, and they carve them every day. And the idea is that they fully expect to someday die out in the swamp, and they hope that if somebody finds them, they will bury them and stake them down with their grave stakes so that their story won't be forgotten. Up here, I think we have some bog blights, don't
Yep.
we? You want to go punch one? I don't worry about showing these off because these guys actually got shown off in Murkmire teaser. So, you know, but I thought it'd be nice to.
Pretty gross.
Sometimes it'll explode. The encounter team did a really nice job on the bog blights and some of our other more unique monsters. Yeah. Okay,
Cool.
Let's
So-
head off to that way shrine.
Yeah, we're heading to Brightthroat Village. So in Murkmire, there are multiple tribes. There are hundreds of tribes in Black Marsh generally, but in Murkmire, there are two kind of dominant tribes: the Bright Throat tribe, who are the Wasi Khalil, and the Naga Kur, who are also known as the Deadwater tribe. So the first village that we're going to is the Bright Throat village.
If you take a look at it here, if you stop here and take a look up, you can see the history. It's that big tall tree with the red fruits or who's on it. Our fixture team, Kevin Bohm and his guys, put together a history that is very unique. If you see in Shadowfen, we've got just these big trees, and the character of the the character of the specific history reflects the nature of the tribe. If you pan around, you're not only going to see there's the history, but see the history is off. Those are actually not separate trees, but shoots. There are lots of runners and shoots and roots all throughout this area. The Bright Throats are very open. They want to interact with other people. They want to reach out. They want to make deals. They want to be diplomatic. That's their thing. So their village, notice, doesn't have any walls. I mean, even Lilmoth had walls. Mm-hmm. They rely on the strength, their ability to communicate and to be diplomatic, and their history to protect them. Sorry, jumping all over your stuff.
No, it's good. Couldn't have said it better.
But yeah, let's take a look around. You know the couple places I want you to show off.
So just a reminder to anybody who might have missed, this being Murkmire, and Update 20 is coming to PTS on Monday. Mm-hmm. We will be doing a North American character copy on PC. And all the glorious patch notes will be posted sometime Monday.
Do we have any questions from anybody yet?
Oh, I just asked them,
Okay.
what's worse, if you ignore the Nirnroot noise that we apparently ignored, or the Sky Shard beam that we apparently also ignored?
Well, you guys know what a sky shard is. You don't need us to show you what a sky shards.
So we're cruising into
Nighttime.
Oh,
As you can tell, Ed likes to look at this place at night.
I do.
So
glowy.
this is
Oh,
this
wow.
kind of moody torchlit place is the Glade of Chimes.
You can probably hear them.
Yeah. So
Take a look at
the
the chime.
Argonians, like Ed said, the Argonians are very closely tied to their Hist. Their values are kind of tied up with what the Hist values are, and every Hist is different, and every Hist speaks differently. So to the Bright Throat tribe, when they want to commune with the Hist, when they want to learn from it, they lick the sap like every other Argonian, and
They what?
they listen to the chime music.
they lick
They
the
lick
sap.
Lick this up?
Don't
Yeah,
you
man.
do that?
I'm only on Thursdays.
Yeah, the Argonians have a really a very close relationship with the Hist that involves a lot of times ingesting Hist sap. And for the Bright Throats, in order to kind of learn what's going on, they listen to the chimes. And the chime music tells them what's up.
I believe you knew what you're talking about more if you were wearing that mask.
Really wants you to wear the mask.
man.
We haven't even shown off what the
So
mask
it's
is.
Oh
Yeah.
boy,
It's a little creepy.
it's creepy.
It's more than a little creepy.
It's
This is one of
horrifying.
my artifacts. I used to work at TSR. They were the company that came out with Dungeons and Dragons, and technically this is a Sahuagin mask, but I like to think of it as an Argonian mask. So I keep that in my
Oh,
office
man.
for when I need it.
I mean, he's got
Adorable.
some. You don't want to put it on?
You can. We already know you can.
It's
wear it.
really big.
I mean, if
Well,
Lehman
that's 'cause you
isn't-
guys are
I'm not
small.
going to do it. I'm sorry.
All right, well,
Oh.
YOLO.
All right, so
There we are.
there y'all go, Gina as an Argonian.
There we are. It works.
Your mouth.
What's wrong with your face?
Lick the sap. So, oh hey, actually, one of the things I got to call out here is, so Lehman was talking about the types of, the mating rituals and everything. One of the things we did with Bright Throats is two of our quest designers, Tom Murphy.
All right, you gotta take that thing off.
We got you stuck.
There you go.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's hot in there.
Yep. Two of our quest designers, Tom Murphy and Janet Piblo.
I love how you just keep going like nothing just happened.
I want to get my plug in. They created some really excellent quests. They detail the idea of Argonian mating rituals from the perspective of the Bright Throat specifically, and how they have children and what it means to be, to have eggs and everything. Are you gonna head to the eggs?
The nest, yeah.
The nest. But yeah, and Janet and Tom and Randy Beagle, so another one of our fiction writers, of course, Lehman, they put this together. Now, this is one of the things that's a callback. You notice so much of our stuff has been different than like Shadowfen and other places Argonians are, but this is one of the things that's fairly consistent because this is our hist sap.
Look at that glow.
Tell us
That's
about the
cool.
hist sap.
Yeah, so his sap, like I said, is integral to Argonian life, basically. It's one of the ways that they commune with the Hist, and the Hist is central to everything they do. So when they have eggs, a lot of times they put them in their nests surrounded by Hist sap so that they can bring in all the kind of wisdom of their particular Hist, so they can grow up nice and strong, eat their Wheaties.
Ew, what are you standing in?
That is Hist
Standing in
sap.
Yeah, and the thing that's really interesting is we deal with a lot of these issues in both the Bright Throats and the Deadwater tribes. I mean, they're very different quests, very different stories, but you get to see the different perspectives. So you don't feel like every Argonian is the same, because they're not.
No, that's one thing that's, people, they get fixated on Argonian culture as a whole, and Argonian culture in many ways is dictated by their Hist, and their Hist
And
have
the tribe.
competing values, competing goals. So yeah, every tribe is different.
So what's the family structure look like?
It again varies from tribe to tribe. There are, you want me to get into the biology?
No, like there's all these eggs. Like, do
Yeah.
they
So
grow up with a single
The
pair of parents, or
Yeah, so one of the quests deals with exactly that. I don't want to spoil it. But there are, typically there are people called egg tenders or root nurses that take care of the children and, cultivate close relationships with the hatchlings as they grow up. And there is Janet's quest actually deals with exactly that,
Yep.
that subject.
And that's
Cool.
a very big thing. And then in the Deadwater, they do things very differently, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But in the meantime, enough of this present day stuff. I want to go back into the past.
Whee! Here we go.
Show me something really ancient. We practiced. So
Can't you tell?
all right. So where are we headed?
So we're headed, hopefully, off to a place. What is the proper gel name for it?
The
Because you know what I'm
Zinche,
gonna
the
call it.
Zinche Konu, which is the, I don't know if I want to spoil it till we get there. So basically, like Ed said, there's a lot of, Murkmire is kind of a mishmash of old and new. There's some very, very old Zanmir architecture out here, and one of them is the Zinche Konu, which is a giant cultural calendar. And over the course of your time in
Ooh.
Murkmire,
Plant.
Plant.
So
Great
what's
for
this
everything.
one?
This one is the catapult cabbage.
Cabbage. These are great.
Oh,
Yeah.
she disabled it.
If she had not disabled it, it would have speared her with its little,
Would have catapulted her.
catapult.
I want to
right
see
all
that
over her
next
face.
time.
Okay. But yeah,
So yeah,
the Argonian calendar. One of the things we came up with way back in Hrothgar, I got to work on the museum quest for Hrothgar, and we've done it in every DLC since because it's been very popular with players. And so we had to come up with something that was uniquely Argonian. We're like, well, they're not really big on personal effects and stuff like that. So what would they come up with? They have this calendar.
now players might have seen this calendar before in Shadows of the Hist, but we never really got into the specifics of it. And Argonians, even though they've kind of moved away from the stone building days of their past, they still keep around certain things, and one of them is the calendar here. And as you progress through the zone, you'll find various tiles that go onto the calendar, and once you assemble all the tiles, then cool
This has
things
actually
happen.
got one of them. Yeah. You have to find it. You have to play it to find out. But the Argonians have some theories. They'll tell you about what this Argonian calendar will do. But we base this in a lot of ways off of the things that we know about Stonehenge and the Mayan calendars and things like that. And we thought this would be a very cool thing that Argonians would still care about. That's the other thing is the Argonians, they build the mud huts, they build the stick huts. They're nomadic. They live around. They don't really build with stone and everything. That doesn't mean they don't respect their heritage. They still have an interesting sense of